Looking for a way to get healthy? The Chef You and I program has the answer. Kathryn, Raaker, and chefs from around the nation will teach even the most inexperienced how to cook. Come into their kitchen and watch them take ordinary foods with loads of calories and fat and turn those foods into healthier dishes. You will be the first to get tips and ideas on foods that are easy to prepare. Now let's join Kathryn and today's chef and learn how to make today's recipes.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of the Chef You and I. Our guest chef today is Marie Dunaway. And
Hi.
She's from the Philippines originally.
Yeah.
She's been with us for 10 years on our shows. And
Yeah.
today you're making something that I tried in Spain, and that's paella. You're making seafood paella or a Filipino
version
version.
of the Spanish dish.
Right.
Paella.
So
yes.
anyhow, and you're also doing a
Dessert.
wonderful dessert, maha.
Maha Blanca.
Yeah, and what does that mean?
Well, we just Googled that. Maha means delicacy, but Blanca, it means white,
Right.
which means it's a white, delicate dessert.
Right.
And both of these are my mom's favorite desserts, by the
So
way.
were these her recipes?
No, this is my recipe that I refined it based on research and trial and error. So
Okay.
basically, it's something that harkens back to what my mom used to cook, but I just made it more Americanized as well as Filipinized.
Right.
Yeah.
So today we have what are all of these? This is all seafood,
Yes.
correct?
Yeah.
And so tell us what's in.
Okay.
Let's talk about what's in here right now.
Okay. Well, so these three ingredients are the basic components of the paella, which is the seafood version. Because looking at when I researched all about this recipe, it looks like there's different versions of it. Some of it would have the shrimp, some of it would have the crawfish, and some of it would have the vegetables, and some of them would have the chorizo. But since I don't eat meat, I would just make it all seafood. And I'm incorporating the shellfish that my son usually likes. My son and daughter, they love mussels. So I'm putting the
Okay.
mussels, the
Right.
clams, and the squid rings. No tentacles.
Okay.
And this would be enough to feed like
Four
five
people,
or
four or
five
people.
Yeah,
Okay.
5
Right.
not so hungry people actually.
So what is the first thing? You have olive oil,
Mm-hmm.
garlic cloves,
Yeah.
tomato sauce, short grain rice, saffron threads,
Saffron, uh-huh.
right, which is really very expensive when you go to get it.
Right.
Right. 3 cups of warm water, half a dozen mussels, half a dozen little neck clams, shells on.
Yeah,
1
shells.
cup of squid rings.
Right.
So, what's the first thing you're going to do, Maria?
Okay, first thing we're gonna do, aside from assembling all the ingredients, is warm up the pan.
Right.
And we're using one of your sponsors.
Yes.
Yes, so
Right.
this pan doesn't need to be on high heat. But if you have
You should do it here, I think, because
Yeah.
you're going to get a higher.
so you might want to use the burner that would really heat up the pan equally. And I would suggest if you don't have one of these nice pans, or if you don't want to use any of your, you don't want to use a pan that is too small or too tall, because the principle of making the paella is to make it toasty at the bottom. So you want them to cook in a uniform way. So this is perfect. So all you have to do is heat it up. Medium high would be fine. And then you pour some of the olive oil. And this is, well, you could use any oil actually. Even high heat stuff like sunflower or grapeseed oil.
Grapeseed oil?
Or even canola oil. Like back in the Philippines, we don't even use olive oil. We just use cooking oil.
Okay.
So once it's heated up, you maybe put a little bit of oil on it, enough to cook the garlic. And to make everything simple for our lives, because our life is so complicated enough, I brought the garlic in already
container.
all minced, and it's already swimming in
Right.
its own oil, you know.
Right.
So
that's 2 tablespoons or 3 cloves of garlic.
yeah, or about 1 tablespoon of garlic.
Right.
And sometimes when they say 1 tablespoon, I actually put more than
Right.
1, but yeah, 1 is enough. So it's gonna fill up the house with a garlicky aroma here. Okay. And then you gotta be careful because it's gonna burn right away. So you might want to mix it right away.
Yeah.
Then you could go ahead and add the tomatoes.
Right.
And again, I brought the tomatoes that are already chopped up. You know, you could get any of this from the store where it's all diced up, and you just pour it in. And yeah, you could include the juice.
Right. So give it to me and I'll throw that away.
Yeah.
Okay. What else are we going to do
Okay.
now? You have to wait to let that cook for a little while.
Yeah. And in other in Philippines, I think they use they also use onion.
After you do the tomatoes and garlic, what do you do next? You put in the tomatoes. Now you're going to add the tomato paste.
I want to add a little bit of tomato paste to make the sauce thicker quicker. You know, it's like so. I actually made this last year. Then I made it again last week. Brought it to work.
And everybody loved it.
Yeah, but they're all working tonight, so they can't come tonight. So
Right.
wait for the sauce to get thick, and that's when you add the rice. So
Right.
the rice doesn't have to be pre-cooked. It doesn't have to be pre-soaked. You just put 1 cup of rice, and it's supposed to cook here right away.
Okay.
And then we still have a little bit more time, but once you add the rice, though, you have to stir it quickly so that
Right.
it would absorb the flavor of the tomatoes.
Okay, well, let's let it go a little bit because you've got tomato paste in it. Do you want to add a little water to this or not?
We will add the water after we add the rice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then I read that they recommend short grain rice so that it would cook right away. But I've tried brown rice too, and it just takes more time to cook. But
Okay.
I
So-
have a lot of white rice at home right
Do
now.
you want to put the rice in there now?
Yeah, we could put it in now, and then stir it quickly.
Okay, and so we're coming over to show you what to do, right? And then you're going to add the water.
Mm-hmm. And then you could pre-boil the water if you want to make it quicker, but
Do you want to cover this or not?
not yet.
Not yet?
Not
Okay.
yet. And then just keep stirring. And then you're gonna wait till it starts boiling.
Okay.
When it starts bubbling. Yep.
Okay.
Right. And then you're gonna get the saffron ready.
Okay.
And this is the one that's hard to find. And
Jungle
that's
Jim's doesn't have saffron?
they do, but I don't go to Jungle Gyms often.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they come by thread. And this is what makes the paella. It's not a paella unless you have saffron in it. But some people try to use a substitute like paprika or other kinds, but you know, that's like
Right.
not
Let's
real.
see.
Yeah. So, yeah. If
We
you're
have
gonna-
all those spices in Spain and also Turkey. Turkey's really well known for their spices.
yeah. And now
So-
it's starting to boil. So this makes it
Yeah.
pretty. They're
So-
like gold.
Yeah, I know they're
They,
like gold.
they remind me like gold threads.
Yeah.
Anyway, and they last a long time, of course. Yeah. So that would make this dish uniquely Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my ancestors from my dad's side were Spanish, but I don't really know from what area in Spain. But I'd like to go to Spain someday. Maybe I'll see my long-lost relatives there.
Great.
Yeah. So you've lived in Spain for a while?
We lived in Spain for almost 3 years, and we lived in Madrid. But we
Capital,
went
yeah.
all over Spain,
Mhm.
to Valencia, to Rota, and we had a lot of friends there, and it was really cool. I loved it there.
Yeah.
And I learned Spanish, and then you forget it when you don't use it, but it looks really good.
See? Okay.
So,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
Yeah, and I read that the dish originally came from Valencia.
Yes.
So another name for Spanish paella or another name for paella is arroz Valencia, which means rice from Valencia.
Right.
Yep. So just wait
Smells
for
really
that.
good,
Yeah, yeah, you're starting to smell it now. Now this is the time when we're gonna add all the seafood.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
So all the seafood.
you want the juice too?
No.
No?
No, but if you got a little bit, that's fine because the rice will absorb everything.
Right.
Okay. You need help with that?
No, I can
Okay.
do it.
S-
So,
So I always like to stock up my freezer with all these shrimp that's frozen and in the bag, and that way it's when I thaw it out, I could just pour it into my spaghetti sauce and or put it in a baking pan and bake it until they open up.
Right.
And it doesn't take long for them to open up. Some of them are already opening up. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
And you have to, at the bottom, you have
Right.
to, you don't want to just check. There's a lot of seafood here.
Yeah. And even though it's just 1 cup of rice, it's really gonna expand and it's really gonna fill you up. Yep.
Right.
So
Yeah, I love the tapas and everything else in Spain. You know, I haven't been able to eat this for a long time. So,
yeah.
and it's also got garlic in it, which I can't eat. So it's fine. Everybody else in the family or everybody here tonight loves it, so it's good.
Yeah, we like seafood.
Yeah, I know you do.
Yeah.
Here you go. A lot.
Yeah, it's a good substitute for meat because it's got its own meat in it, so it's really very rich in vitamins and proteins.
And people don't eat enough fish or seafood, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's good for your heart. Yep.
Yeah.
So in other versions of this meal, you could use shrimp, and then sometimes they leave the shells on, even the heads on, because of the flavor would just ooze out of it.
Do you want me to put this in there?
Oh, just put it in the sink. Okay. Yeah. So here comes when patient sets in. You have to wait for most of the liquid to evaporate. But while waiting for that to evaporate, you might want to make sure that the seafood is well cooked by tucking it into the rice.
Tucking it into the rice.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah. And the key to making good paella is make sure it gets toasted at the bottom, because that's what makes it very crunchy and tasty. So,
Right. So we're going to take a little break, Maria, and then we'll be right back.
right. Okay.
On The Chef You and I with Maria Dunaway and Kathryn Raaker on The Chef You and I. We'll be right back. We're back on The Chef You and I, and our guest chef today is Marie Dunaway, and she is making paella, so she's going to tell us what she's going to do next. Go ahead, Maria.
Okay, so we've been stewing this paella for a while, and then once you see that most of the liquid has evaporated, and you're sure that all the seafood is cooked and the rice is cooking, we want to go ahead and cover it up, and don't ever stir it anymore, because we want to make a toasty layer of rice at the bottom. So it's on the low heat now, and we're just going to cover it up and then leave it like that for about 10 more minutes, and it should be done.
Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to make a salad, basically a chef salad. In the end, I'm going to put chicken in mine because I can't eat paella. So I'm going to do this. Okay, so I need you to come around, Maria.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, you need help? I'll help you.
Well, I can do this pretty easily, but I need that bowl from where that big bowl over there.
Oh, this big one?
The bigger one.
Okay.
Okay. This one. We're going to use this to put the salad in. Okay. So let's move this stuff around so he can see it all. And we're going to go from here. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cucumber and I'm going to take the fork and come down like this, because it gives you a really pretty cucumber slice when you do that. So this is just one of the tricks of the trade, or whatever you want to say. And then you just cut it, right, like that. And you can see the indentation see what it looks like? Really nice.
So that's how you do it. So that's how you do it.
That's how you do
okay.
it. It's really not hard.
I thought it was the knife, the special knife that you use. Okay.
So I have every instrument that you could have for a kitchen. I love gadgets. And so anyhow, but these are really nice cucumbers and they taste really nice. And I make cold cucumber soup with them. and which is really simple too. Have you had cold cucumber soup before?
No, but we made cucumber salad not too long ago, and you told me that your mom puts sugars on hers. Well, my mom put vinegar on hers.
Yeah, well, for pickled cucumbers, it's vinegar and sugar.
Sugar.
Yeah, you add a little bit of sugar to it.
Not
and
salt.
onions.
Okay.
Onions, and it's really, really, really good. So you want to add that. So
My mom would peel the cucumbers though.
I know, but they like the skin.
And this is English.
Yeah, this is English.
Yeah,
so
because darker skin. Yeah.
darker skin
Yeah.
is prettier, and it tastes really good.
And you don't remove the seeds.
No, you don't remove the
They're
seeds.
smaller too.
Yeah, they're much smaller. That's good. So, what do you like to eat a lot? That is, you make a lot of Filipino food, but you also make whatever. What do you make? What you like to make?
I haven't been cooking as much as I should, but it was Christmas time not too long ago. Huh? Yeah,
Right.
I had a good Christmas, and that's when I bake a lot and cook a lot, and I brought it to work. And
They love it.
Yeah, and
That's
then my daughter has been making all the cooking lately, and she has been doing a lot of Filipino cooking herself.
good.
The one that I passed down to her. So that's good.
Yeah,
she could do
so
the cooking for
what
me
is
when I
she
get
do-
busy.
She in school still, or she?
No, she's working now. She's working.
working?
She's working mostly from home, but also goes to the corporate office during the day.
And does she like her job?
Yeah, but it's got its challenges. Working with people.
What does she do?
She's a pharmacy tech.
Oh, that's
yeah,
great.
Yeah, for a big pharmacy
Company?
company. Yeah.
That's good. So anyhow, we're just chopping the tomatoes up right now, and I like to do them in little pieces because everybody doesn't like big tomatoes sometimes. And this is really good. And I'm going to get a little thing that I use all the time, which is in here. And it's a scraper. So it makes it really nice and easy to do. So I have to cut that a little bit. Okay, that's cool. Anyhow, I loved the food in Spain, and I love South American food. I actually learned how to make tortillas, and also, I'm trying to think what they're called. Tamales.
Oh, okay.
Tamales is an art form.
Pork or what kind of tamale? Beef?
Whatever kind of tamale you want. You can make them vegetarian as well.
Yeah, with
But-
lots of corn. Yeah.
Yeah, well, actually, a lot of, South American and Mexican families, right, from different countries, they bring the whole family in to make tamales. So I called my friends in Texas that are all from Mexico and different parts of the world, and they gave me the recipes, and I had to go get a special pan to hold the tamales up because I didn't have a family to make them with me.
And you got the corn husk to wrap the tamales.
Yes,
Wow.
right. So
Yeah.
that was really exciting for me to conquer it.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, that's too big.
Yeah, we used when my son used to be in soccer, he had a Mexican friend in the team, and his mom would always get us tamales, pork tamales. That's what my husband likes, pork tamales, and we
Have you
order
made
from her.
them, or you
No,
ordered
we
them?
just order from her, and they make it by hand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's done by hand with that, and it's really an art. Like I said, it's really an art form that like no other. And I'm going to cut this up the way I want to, and I don't care at this point. Anyhow, what I was going to say is, once you conquer it, once you do the challenge, right?
Right.
And this last year, I learned how to make Easter bread, which is Polish, and you have it at Easter time, and was grandmother's recipe, and I made 5 loaves. So Bill, my husband, he does all the kneading, but we use a big pan that's a roasting pan to do all of it. And so you get 5 or 6 loaves out of it, and you can freeze it. And I have a friend at Jungle Jim said is Polish that absolutely loves Easter bread.
Yeah, I like doing that too. Like, get a recipe and just challenge yourself. You know what? Instead of buying, I couldn't do this myself.
Yeah.
And that's what I actually did with the Spanish paella. There was like trial and error,
Yeah.
but I'm ready to try another recipe next time.
Well, I'll tell you, doing geta. I used to make geta when I lived in England, and I have to tell you, it's a long process. to make it from scratch. So that's why I love Geta in every form. And there's a wonderful company here in Cincinnati, actually in Kentucky, Gleer's Geta.
They're based in Kentucky?
Yes, they're based in Kentucky. And I met the owners, and I'm actually going to be making some recipes for them. I'm going to make a meatloaf. You can do all kinds of things with it. Unbelievable. So I thought that would be really fun to do. So
yeah, the first time I had Geta was when I was working in a hotel, and she was just ordering from the kitchen, and it was like Geta goat cheese omelet.
That's different.
Yeah.
So actually, I've made it with venison on a gal's farm in Indiana, and she makes everything with venison. And she makes subs like I've never tasted before, and they were absolutely delicious. But I learned actually how to butcher the venison, but you need to have good, strong gloves, rubber gloves when you do it, because if you don't, it's not good. Anyhow, that's good. So then we're going to add the lettuce. I'm do olives too. Hold on.
Oh, is that a vinaigrette or?
Huh?
Oh, those are olives. Yeah, black
These
olives.
are black olives.
Yeah. What is that liquid?
That's the liquid from the olives. I actually had done.
Like an olive juice?
Yeah, it's an olive juice.
I see. Okay. It's like from a jar. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, from a jar.
Yeah. We usually get the green ones.
Well, we have green ones. I can put green ones in it in a little
for,
while.
For different colors. Yeah.
Yeah, different colors. That would be good.
Yeah.
So, anyhow.
So you're gonna chop them in smaller forms.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm going to chop them in a
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
And the other thing is that I made just recently, and our friend that does a lot of our pictures and stuff, Marion Merton, she actually loves the strawberry cakes that I made this year. And it's really very different because you can either make your own cake mix, or I used a white cake mix for it.
Strawberry cake.
Strawberry cake, but it's made with real strawberries. And you make a meringue that you don't put sugar in. And you use Jell-O, about a 3.3 ounce package of Jell-O. And for people that can't have sugar, you can do sugar-free. So, there we go. Is that enough, you think? Or we'll get some green ones to put on it in the end. Okay.
Should we start mixing it, or?
Yeah, you could start. Here, I'll give you this. We have these.
Those, yeah. Yeah, I remember these.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. So anyhow, we'll use some green olives, and I'm going to use this lettuce here. I need to get a paper towel. Oh. Anyhow, all the recipes will be online, and including Maria's recipe will be online so that you can try it yourself, right?
You're right. And I didn't make salad this time because I figured the paella is going to be very heavy on the stomach. So.
Well, that's the reason why I thought having a little salad might help.
And that's what I read. This is perfect with the paella because it's very light, the salad. Yeah.
So, and I'm using wonderful lettuce that is this is not like regular iceberg. I like to use different kinds of lettuces, and this is what we have. So we're going to tear this. Okay, I'm just going to take this part off, and then I just need that. And then you're going to tear it, right, like that, so you get a nice piece of it. But I love salad. It's so good for you. I mean, I would have put a lot more ingredients in it, but...
yeah, we're starting to make salad at work, too. Instead of eating junk food, we would just make a salad at work, and we'll split it up, you know.
So, now, what are you doing? You're a nurse, right?
Yeah, I work night shift, yeah.
So, and you're going to school now?
Oh, yeah, I'm going back to school because they offer it. You know, like they're going to sponsor it. So why not? You know, like go to school. If somebody says, oh, we're going to sponsor you, said, do you want to go? I say, yeah, sure. And then they even reimburse our textbooks.
Oh, that's great.
And lab fees. So that's why not.
So are you going to you're a registered nurse now, right?
Yeah.
But you're going to get your
yeah. I already had a bachelor's in communications a long time ago, but our our work is offering us to go back to school in any capacity. Like I have a classmate who's going to get her master's.
Oh, wow.
I got another one who's an aide who's studying to be a nurse.
Oh, that's great.
And then I have another coworker. She wants to be a nurse practitioner now. So
Great.
anything you want to do, you know.
So being a nurse is pretty fun now, right?
It's usually fun, but it's got its challenges. But you know what? It's really I think it's an honest job, so why not, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right,
So it's like
right.
it's got its challenges, like physically, mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
so
a good job.
You like doing night shift.
Oh yeah. I cannot wake up too early. Yeah, and I like staying up late. I love my coffee and.
Oh, that she is.
And the thing is, we like to eat at night to stay awake. So we want to make sure we eat healthy.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So now we need to take a short break, Maria.
All right.
And we'll be right back on The Chef You and I with Maria Dunaway and myself, Kathryn Raaker. We'll be right back. We're back on The Chef You and I with our guest chef, Marie Dunaway, and we're making a dessert called Maja Blanca.
Maja Blanca.
Blanca, which is coconut corn pudding,
Yes.
right? So the first thing you're doing, Maria, and I'm going to give the ingredients if you don't mind.
Okay, and I'll show it.
Okay, so we have 1 can or 3.5 fluid ounces of coconut milk,
Yeah, straight from the can. This is exact amount.
1.5 cups of evaporated or almond milk.
Right. So if you don't like real milk, or if you're lactose intolerant, do your own thing. Any milk.
Right. So 1 can of condensed milk, which is sweet milk.
Right. And it comes also in coconut flavor if you're lactose intolerant. Okay.
So 3/4 cup of cornstarch dissolved in 3/4 cup of milk.
Or any milks. And this one, I got it straight from my fridge. It's soy milk. So you just whisk them together. This is exact amount. 3/4 cups of cornstarch.
That's a lot.
I know. But this is going to hold it together to make it a pudding.
Oh, it's going to make a pudding. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then we have after she does that, we have 1/2 a cup of creamed corn.
Yeah, and actually it would be approximately half of this can.
Half? Okay.
Yeah. Some people use corn kernels, but I like it cream and sweet, so it's already mushy because
Okay.
I like it sweet. Yeah.
So that's the first part of it. Okay,
Yeah.
so just stir that in until all the lumps are out.
Right.
Okay. And then we're going to grease a square pan with butter or coconut oil. Do you care if I do that?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
And
Yeah,
so-
as long as the pan is shallow, it doesn't have to be square. This one is a rectangle. And you could also use a glass pan or a Pyrex pan if you want. So this is like, when it's done, it's supposed to be like a jelly texture. So when you're ready to eat it, you could either invert it into a flat plate or just scoop it as is.
Okay.
And this one doesn't need any baking. So
It goes in the refrigerator though, right?
yeah, because it's always, it kind of tastes much better when it's cold.
Oh, I would think so.
Yeah.
So after you do that, you combine the coconut milk, the evaporated milk,
All the milk.
all the milks together, and you boil them. Keep stirring the milk well before it starts plattering. So you don't want it to.
Yeah,
want it
so
to be
you
low.
yeah, so you make sure you turn down the heat low as soon as possible and keep stirring it.
So the next thing you're going to do is put all the ingredients into a pan, correct? Mm-hmm. So why don't we do this? Why don't we
Okay.
take our pan from here
Okay.
and add all your ingredients to it,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. It doesn't matter what order. Just put all the milk together.
Right.
Then you could scoop it out later.
Do you want? Hold on. We do have.
A spatula or a spoon. Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Some people, instead of condensed milk, they would use sugar or artificial sweetener. But I just like my condensed milk. So that's what I do.
It's easier to do. Actually.
Yeah. Yeah, it would make it thicker as well.
Right. And see, I would use almond milk. because
Yeah.
I drink a lot of almond milk because I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh yeah, so is my daughter. She's lactose intolerant. So when
So-
I made a lot of this, she couldn't eat it because she's lactose intolerant. So I said, okay, next time I make this, I'm gonna make sure everything is non-dairy.
Okay, so now you've got that combined.
Mm-hmm.
And so you actually keep stirring the mixture on the stove, right?
Right.
Until the sides of the pot look like a blob.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
when you keep stirring it,
Yeah.
it's not gonna thicken. It's not gonna thicken up unless you put the cornstarch
Right.
with the milk.
Right.
So we're gonna go do that.
So,
See, look at that chemical
wait,
reaction there.
you already did the cornstarch. You're ready to put that in there? Are you going to put this, you want to put it in now?
Yeah, and then put it in the pot or either order.
Okay, so we're going to do this.
Just everything. We're just gonna dump everything in: the corn, the milk, and the cornstarch.
Okay, so we want to have we're going to show this on the air. So we're going to have our camera come over here. This is a paella. It's already finished. So we're going to come over here, and Maria is going to turn on the stove here. Wait. Okay. All right. Okay. So Maria, talk to us about what you're doing right now.
So I'm just basically dumping them all together. Just put them all together in and just watch it. Watch it very closely so they won't be splattering all over the place and they won't be sticking to the bottom. So we could use a whisk with this kind of pan, right? We don't have to worry
Right.
about scratching.
You don't
So
have to worry about it.
if you want to use a whisk, that's fine. Although later on maybe you want to switch because it's really a
So how much corn do you put in? Half a can?
half a can.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, there. That's good. And just mix it up. So this would start turning pasty, and then when it starts coming off from the side of the pan and it's gonna get blobby and jelly-like, then you know it's done.
Okay.
And then that would take about 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how high the heat will be. And then you just get a spatula and pour it into that pan and then
Okay.
let it set.
Right. And then you let it set
Yeah,
for how long in the refrigerator?
Oh, you could do it like a few hours or overnight. Overnight is best, actually.
Okay.
So that's why I
by
made.
the magic of television, she's already created it before, so we're going to show you the finished product.
The other night, no, 2 nights ago. Okay. All right. All right, and then
See, it's starting to thicken right now.
yeah, so you just have to keep stirring so it won't, stick to the bottom. This is the one that you don't want to stick to the bottom.
Here, you want me to stir it for a little while?
Okay.
Okay.
All
And then you just talk about what we're going to put on top of it and show the toppings maybe and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. So while waiting for this to set, you're ready to make the topping. In Philippines, it's called latik. Latik means coconut curd. So coconut has a rich fat in it. It's a healthy kind of fat. And you're going to cook it on a stove until most of the fat would evaporate.
So see, if I turn it on really high, it's going to boil.
Right. It's just going to splatter all over. You don't want
And
that.
I don't want
Yeah,
that.
you
So
don't
you want
wanna-
to keep it. Because these pans, they're great pans because they hold the heat so well that you don't have to turn them on high.
Mhm.
And so the paella is done, and when we take the top off, most of the liquid will probably be gone.
Mhm.
And that's what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to take a short break now, and we'll be right back after this gets done. And we'll be right back with Marie Dunaway and Kathryn Raaker. We're back on the Chef You and I, and Maria emptied the can of,
Coconut cream.
and we put it in one of the smaller
One of these
cans.
Yeah, small sauce.
And so what are you doing now?
Okay, I am making the garnish for the pudding, the one that I called latik or coconut curds. And this is very popular as a garnish for any kind of dessert that's made of rice in Philippines. So my mom would usually just buy this from the
The store?
market. Yeah, it's actually like a wet market. She never makes it. She just goes and buys it. And this is her favorite. And some people would use coconut milk instead of coconut cream. And I tried that the other night and see how long will that take. it takes double the time. This one would only take maybe 10 to 20 minutes. So under high heat, for a regular pan, or in this case, like a medium heat, you just keep stirring and stirring this coconut cream until the liquid would evaporate, or most of it. Because the principle is, since it's coconut cream, the cream would be left behind, but the liquid part, which is the oily part, the fatty part, it's just gonna separate and settle. And then you're gonna know that it's cooked once it starts turning brown. So basically, you're turning this into this.
And that's what it makes, that much.
Right. After you sift it through the fine sifter, that's what it's going to be. And then you could just leave it on room temperature and crumble it. And then this is going to be the good topping. It's just like a strudel. It's got a consistency of a strudel. And then you could use the extra coconut oil for something else, for cooking, or, put it on your hair, put it on your skin. Yeah, that's good for your skin too.
Yeah, it really works well on your skin.
Yeah, like my daughter, she puts it on her hair.
Yeah, it's really good.
And then she shampoos, and that's why she has such a beautiful hair. It looks so healthy. Yeah. Yep.
So what else we've done the salad, we've done the paella, and now this is the dessert. And
oh, I have the finished product.
Yeah, you should. Well, you've got the finished product on that.
Yeah.
But you want to show what the rice, that you've already cooked.
Oh, this is another topping. Aside from the coconut curds, you could just get coconut flakes straight from the store in a bag. And this is the one that I cooked last night. You just pour it into a skillet, and then you just toast it a little bit until it's a little bit brown, and you could put some sugar on it. And this is also another way you could add decoration on your dessert.
Right.
Yeah. So they're both coming from the same fruit, the coconut.
Okay.
Which is very popular at home.
Great. So we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to have everything out to show you what we made. We'll be right back. We have come to the very almost end of our show, but Maria Dunaway is going to decorate the
corn pudding, yeah.
Corn pudding there,
yeah.
Or a flan.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it looks like a flan, doesn't it? But
it does.
But it doesn't have eggs in it.
Okay, so why don't you decorate it?
Okay, so just want to let you know that after we did place the contents of the stove into this container, and it's been sitting in the fridge overnight, it's easy to make it settle a little bit more so it would come out jelly-like, with the cornstarch holding it barely together.
Right.
Kathryn did a good job of flipping it over, but anyway, that's where it is. And this is the fun part.
And
just slather all these sweetened toasted coconut flakes. You could put some sugar if you want.
Uh-huh.
And then you put some of these coconut curds around it too.
And you saw us making the coconut curds, right?
Yeah. And then when you serve it individually, the guests could help themselves and put whatever they want. Yeah, even put more coconut cream on it, or condensed milk if you want.
That looks really pretty.
So
Can
that's
you put
really
some more coconut right there?
Which one, the curd or the flakes?
Either or.
Okay, yeah, just cover it all, and then a very light dessert to contrast the heavy meal. Right. Yeah.
So here we go. We are going to tell you everything that we did again. We're going to give the recipe as well. So the first thing we did, Maria, was what?
We made the Spanish paella, which is the entree made of rice and shellfish. And then for dessert, we did the coconut corn cream pudding. And then Kathryn made a very delicious, healthy salad.
Right, and that's right there. So here's what we put into the paella. We put 2 teaspoons of olive oil.
Or more. Uh-huh.
3 cloves of garlic, or minced 1 tablespoon of minced garlic. 1 cup of tomato sauce, or canned tomatoes, or chopped fresh tomatoes. 1 cup of short grain rice. 1 teaspoon of saffron threads.
Just a little bit, yep.
3 cups of warm water. Half a dozen mussels, shells, or off or on, a half a dozen little neck clam shells on, and 1 cup of squid rings.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what we do. You could have prawns or shells on or off, or heads off.
If you have a lot of room.
Right. And vegetables such as green peas and red pepper, etc.
Right. You could decorate and put more ingredients into it, whatever version you want, as long as you have enough room to cook it all.
Right.
Yeah.
So in a wide or shallow pan, such as we did a paella pan or
a shallow wide pan like your 360.
That we did. They sauteed the garlic in the olive oil and not.
Yeah, we don't want to
burn the garlic.
Yeah, they burn right away. Yeah.
So add the tomatoes till the sauce gets thick. What we did. Add the rice and stir quickly to coat with the sauce. Add the water and boil. Add the saffron. Add the shellfish and tuck into the rice, and add some lemon juice to temper the garlicky aroma.
If you want. Yeah.
If you want. Add salt and pepper to taste. Cover the pan, lower heat, and simmer for 15 to 20 minutes until the rice is fluffy and cook through. Do not stir. Increase the stove temperature high and cook for 2 more minutes till the toasted rice forms up the bottom of the pan.
Yeah, and they call that toasted rice at the bottom sokarat. Yeah.
And so take the pan off the heat well to rest and cover about 10 minutes before serving, and that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, serve hot. It's still steaming. Yeah.
Right.
Ready for our guests.
So then you want to give the ingredients for the maja blanca?
Yeah, for the maja blanca, you need 1 can of the coconut milk, 1 can, the regular can of the evaporated milk or your choice of milk, as long as it's 1.5 cup, 1 can of condensed milk, 3/4 cups of cornstarch dissolved in 3/4 cups milk, and 1/2 cup of cream corn. So you mix all of them together except the cream corn in a stove until it turns pasty. Then you pour it into a grease pan or glass pan, and then you keep it in the fridge overnight, and then you invert it into a flat plate the next day, and then you garnish it with toasted coconut flakes and dehydrated coconut, like corn curds. And that's our dessert.
That's for sure. And then we made a salad with cucumbers and fresh lettuce and tomatoes and olives and avocado, which a lot of people love, and it's really good for you.
Yeah.
So it's a fresh salad. A lot of times people just use lemon juice and oil or whatever you want to put on it. So we've come to the end of our show. I want to thank you very much for coming and bringing this wonderful entree and dessert and the salads for all of you, plus me. And I think we've had a great time. And you can get this show on thechefyouandI.com, where you can print out the recipes. We're also on channels all over the country and different networks. In the tri-state, we're on Spectrum, Comcast.
Comcast.
Oh, yeah, all of the different, and then we're on YouTube as well. And we do it on LinkedIn, and we also put it on all of our social media. Mm-hmm. And our numbers are getting better and better on social media. And
subscribe.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's really important.
Yeah, we subscribe.
That's good. So
you subscribe.
Yeah, everybody should subscribe. It's free, right? It's free.
And I hope I get to cook more with you, because I didn't get to cook for you for at least a year.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, I've been cooking with you for 10 years now. Happy anniversary.
Happy 10th anniversary, right. So we want to thank you for joining us. We want to thank our sponsors, and that's 360 Pans and also Duck Fat Spray and all the other things that we use on our show. Thank you so very much for joining us. Happy New Year, and have a great, great bon appetit. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on the Chef You and I Show today. We'll be back next week with another great and healthy recipe. Don't forget to visit our website, thechefyouandI.com, for all of our featured recipes, cooking tips, and clips of the show.